Hey y'all, we made it. This is the second to the last of the blending mode class, lesson number 39. And if you have just stumbled upon us, please go to hummiesworld.com, look for the guide for the blending mode class, and start at the beginning. But for all of you who have followed me this far, woohoo! Yeah, have we not had a lot of fun learning? So this technique that we're working with blending modes is I'm calling it the postcard look. Um, and To me, it's like an old time postcard, not necessarily the newer ones. When you go and you buy and get out, a lot of times you see older postcards and even newer ones that try to emulate this effect. They have a really blued effect to them, and then they're like covered with kind of a peachy color on top. And so that's kind of what I've gotten here. It looks like this has been sitting in a drawer for a while, and you want to get it out and open it up and look at it, and then you want to get in here and peer at it and look at all the people out there walking on the walkway and whatnot. Of course, I could have put that this was in Hawaii, but I'm making graphics with words, so this is actually might be a little too intense yet. I think I'm going to back that off. Hit save just for my own version. So let's deconstruct and reconstruct. So we deconstruct by taking off the visibility of all the layers and seeing this beautiful photo. Now this isn't actually the original, I'm sorry, but there were people all over the beach and there was a car over here. But you know, I managed to get them out, and we have this beautiful image. I didn't mind the people being so small and whatnot doing their thing out there, but it really was detracting having them here. And so actually, you know, one thing I didn't think about doing, well, I hit Control L for levels, and the image looks pretty good. Okay, I wanted to double check that. And something else I didn't try doing in editing this image is maybe changing the saturation. Where is that? Up the saturation just a little bit maybe. And the lightness just a tad. Give it some oomph. Let's see what that looks like with my other changes. You know, I kept saying to myself, that looks a little dark. And maybe that helps out a little bit. Yeah, it makes it a little bit more saturated. Okay, let's go on to the next step. So here we have a levels adjustment, and we're using the levels adjustment to bring in that blue hue. I'm going to leave this one here for now and make a new one. So go down to the new adjustment layer and levels, and this time where it says RGB, I want you to click and choose the blue channel. And then on this output levels down here, we don't use that very often, but we're going to move this black slider in until we get an image that is pleasantly blued. Go ahead and undock this. So I don't even remember where I left mine. Obviously this is too blue, and you know, out here it's not blue at all. So in here somewhere, get yourself a pleasant blue. I think right here I'm at 173, and that looks good. So that's the first step. I'm going to go ahead and delete this and go back to my original. And you see, if I go back and choose blue, this one was actually at 182. I think I'll back it off a little bit. Lots of different changes that we can do. Okay, then the next step, this is a two-part step. First, I use the levels to make my image more blue, sort of as if it's been sitting in a drawer for a long time and gotten faded. But then those postcards had like a cover over them, like a laminate or something, and they kind of over time turned kind of peachy. So that's what we're going to add next. And here's the texture that we're giving out with this lesson. It's kind of yummy. I actually really like this one. Remember, some are yummy, some are not. This one's a rather yummy one. I think this is a piece of jean material glued down, and that's why you've got a piece of string over here and a raggedy edge. But then, of course, we did painting on top of it. And so, and those streaks are kind of cool. I remember taking something and just running the streaks through the paint. I think I made this one. So anyway, this is the original texture that you're going to get, and it's got that peach in it. And so basically what I did was I just simply made this peach into the multiply blending mode. See, here's normal and then multiply blending mode, and you saw I just lowered the opacity a little bit for mine. So here's the before and after. Now it kind of really has that postcard look to it. So those are the two steps you need, the levels, and see, there's the beginning, and then you have levels to make it blue, and then a peachy layer to make it kind of that film over the top that they put on those postcards. Now, this isn't exactly a postcard filmy texture, and so if you don't like this texture on it, what you can do is to go ahead and get your eyedropper tool and select, one of these colors from here, whichever one, lighter, darker, and then create a new layer and fill it, well, let's just do this, create a new layer and Alt backspace and fill it with that color you got, that peachy color that you got out of that texture, and then change that to multiply blending mode. And now you're going to see really that kind of effect a little bit better, that you get the more the postcard effect, where it's shaded the blue and has the peachy color over. If it's too intense, you can lower your opacity and you get that postcard effect. Now for me, what I ended up doing was I just felt it was too dark. And so while I was playing, I accidentally put my peachy layer that should be multiply. See, this would be multiply. I was just playing and I made it a soft light, and I said, hey, that lightened it up, and I liked it a whole lot better. And then I added my text. So anyway, the two steps, do the levels with the blue, making it more blue, and then add a peachy kind of layer with multiply. You can use other textures if you want and make them peachy. You can do whatever you want as we've said, use any of the textures in the class. That way, when you share, we can get a screenshot of your layers palette and the recipe that you used. Type that out for us when you do share your before and after. And we look forward to seeing what you arrive with for this postcard look.